topic 4, which is Loco's new mini album, Hello.
For the PSP.
Loco.
And Jacob is running this one.
Yes. Okay. All right. So first we have Nothing, which on first listen, when I listened to it, I wasn't sure what I felt about it, but I'd say later on it grew on me. Just because I'm usually not so high on the auto-tuned like rap singing with like trap instrumentals and stuff, but I think overall it somehow works. It just clicked a little for me. Like if I did it on Andrew's scale, I'd probably give it a 0.75 out of 1. But yeah, like overall I think it works well because it sets a good tone as far as like how the album is going to be and like what kind of artist he is. Like you could listen to this album and get in sort of a feel for what kind of artist Loco is. Yeah, I liked like the mix of like guitars and trap and stuff like that. I thought that was interesting. So yeah, overall I thought it was a pretty cool song.
Yeah, for me, or do you want to do Cooper's before?
No, you can go. I'll read Cooper's after mine. Don't worry.
Okay. Yeah, for me, same. I really like the guitar focused instrumentals, especially how they mute it occasionally.
Yeah.
And I enjoy the vocal melodies and the flow, but it's just like the autotune's still just not something I'm a huge fan of.
Again, like on first, I was about to agree with you. I was like, again, like when I first listened to it, I was like, but it kind of grew on me a little bit as time went on. So definitely doesn't kill the song for me at all.
Yeah, I don't think the song's bad, but I just think it would have been better without it. It's just that style of autotune I don't like, but
definitely.
Like I said, the actual melodies and the flow itself, like I thought was good.
I don't know. I feel like the autotune kind of makes the song. I feel like it would have been way more boring if you didn't just process the vocals.
That's because you like that type of autotune.
Specifically with this song in particular, it reminds me a lot of, because there's been basically like the new generation of like, I don't know, like SoundCloud rappers or whatever. Like a lot of the music that they came up listening to, like it's just from two polar opposite ends. It's like they listen to a lot of like emo music and they listen to a lot of trap music. So the sort of new wave of like trap artists or new emo artists incorporate both of these elements that are, again, you don't think would work well, but in this sort of way, but they work very well, if anything, because I mean you have just this type of like emo, like hip hop or whatever is what I guess you can call it or whatever, has been, or like emo, like, or like, yeah, basically just emo rock and hip hop. Like this fusion has been sort of in vogue lately, specifically.
Epic high.
No, specifically with artists
completely
like,
different, but
XXXTentacion and Lil Peep, both are posthumous, rest in peace. But yeah, they were really big on this sort of like emo rap sort of thing. I don't believe neither did specific like actual like auto tuning to it, so that's a unique element that Loco is bringing to this song. But again, that sort of like feel like they'll have use of sort of like almost like this like alt guitar, emo guitar type thing mixed in with these vocals is such a unique mix. So I really did like this song. In fact, yeah, again, I think Loco pulls it off well in that going back and forth between, like, I guess there's a subtlety between him actually singing and him actually like rap singing, that sort of thing. That's something that's kind of a hard transition for a lot of people who are primarily rappers. It's hard for them to transition away from that sort of delivery method, but I think Loco pulls it off just perfectly here. So Cooper's thoughts were, in regards to Nothing, he said, quote, "This is the first Loco song I ever heard, so I wasn't sure what to expect. I love the guitar throughout, and his slurred vocals with the auto-tune are a nice contrast with the instrumental." So yeah, I'd say that's probably why I like it too, just because again, it's sort of it's an unconventional approach to doing trap music or emo music or whatever, because when you think these are like, they're very two set in stone kind of mentalities in this sort of way, which is why again I love the fact that they're being brought together, because I guess it's just two guilty pleasures of mine, just really emo music and just like ratchet ass trap music in this sort of way. So it's just trap music that you can listen to when you're fucked up at like 3 a.m. and in the morning and thinking about life and shit.
Yeah, I think maybe the reason it doesn't really click with me as much is because like I think it's because like as far as hip hop goes, I don't think I ever really transitioned beyond like a lot of stuff before like 2010 maybe. So I'm used to more like I guess like straight up like rap and stuff like that. And as far as like emo goes, I guess I wouldn't really consider them emo bands specifically, but like I really only listen to like My Chemical Romance or Fall Out Boy or stuff like that. But
that's emo. That's emo definitely. But I mean it's a different level of emo where this is more like brand new level emo than like that pop emo type of stuff.
Yeah. I guess I guess when I hear emo, I think more like pop punk or punk rock and stuff like that.
See, yeah, that emo was way like before your time, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyways, moving on. Finally, we have. This is the title track, if I'm not mistaken. It's the one I watched the music video for, at least.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's Been a While, featuring Zion.T, and I thought this was actually a really good like collaboration and blend. Like I think it seems like a natural like I guess what I'd expect to hear from like a collaboration between these two. Like I think it feels right at home on Loco's album, and it also would if it were on Zion.T's album.
Yeah.
One part that I thought was kind of cool was like these noises it was using, like that. Yeah. I'm assuming it's like something being played in reverse.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool. They used that on a Red Velvet song, but I don't remember what it was. That's all I can like. That's but like
that's a popular
comparison I draw to. But
it's a popular sort of thing in hip hop where you just like reverse vocals and then you just sort of like make it like sound really weird sounding, just so it grabs your attention that way.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really cool. And like the type of like R&B like synths and beats and stuff is something that's definitely within like Zion.T's repertoire as far as like what he'd use on his album. And then on to actually like Loco, his rapping, like I liked it. It was almost like it's still definitely rapping, but it almost goes into like the sing rap like sort of territory. And I think it definitely treads that line really well. And I thought it was really interesting. So, yeah, I really liked his delivery. And then, as always, Zion.T always has beautiful vocals. He has amazing voice. And it's instantly recognizable. So, I really enjoyed this song.
Yeah, same. I thought their voices went really well together. And I like that, like you said, that Loco is almost singing in this song more than rapping. I thought it was just a really good R&B song. I love the trumpet part during the second verse, and the like doorbell sounding part that they use. Those two things definitely stood out to me. And I thought the music video was great. I really liked how minimalist it was. It fit the style of song really well.
This was produced by Gray, and I'd say he has to get a lot of the props for. The production, again, like you mentioned, Jacob, basically is a song that works well for both artists. And I think it just works. It speaks to Loco's versatility in that he can do like more traditional like trap hip hop songs or like regular hip hop songs and still sort of venture off into this R&B jazzy hip hop style. And he's got the skill set for it again with that sing rapping sort of thing where his vocals can definitely carry it still, despite being a rapper properly. I just think their voices are, the chemistry in their voices are so well together. They're paired well together, and it's almost like a companion. It feels like a companion almost to Hell Tutorial. Just it's got a similar vibe to it again. Hell Tutorial being the song, the title track off of Zion.T's most recent album, the one with Solgi. So again, the way they pair together is a really interesting sort of thing. And yeah, it's definitely an early contender for like best feature and collab, because pretty much anything Zion.T just touches just turns to gold basically at this point. So yeah, it was awesome for them to see them work together. In regards to the video or visual elements of this, there's actually parts where Zion.T's cutting Loco's hair because he's enlisting in the military. So this is I'm pretty sure this is his last release before he has to enlist. So yep, definitely went out with a bang in this case. Yeah. Also, just another sort of thing. I mentioned it in the Zion.T review as well, but he's actually starting to wear like regular glasses a lot more, as opposed to just sunglasses, where you literally just
Can't
I was
see
just
his
like,
eyes.
I'm just like, whoa!
Yeah.
I can see Zion.T's pupils. This is weird.
Yeah, that is a little
I
weird.
noticed
'Cause
that too.
The sunglasses were like his trademark. Like as long as I've known him. Like, I think the first Zion.T thing I listened to was his Red Light album, and like literally the album cover is like a drawing of him with these giant like glasses and the red hat, and yeah,
And I mean, even in
it's the contrast.
even at KCON, it's like a dark ass arena, and he's wearing sunglasses. So I don't know what the change has been made. Maybe he's just afraid. Maybe he had to like get eyeball
Changed his
surgery
image a little bit.
Maybe he never had eyeballs until now.
Oh
He
yeah.
was just hiding it the whole time. But another thing, I just as a big fan of Zion.T and as a recently like starting to become a big fan of Loco again, I just love that visual element of it, where it's got that absurdity or just like that randomness that Zion.T music videos have. Like, I don't really know how to explain it, but I mean, if you understand, like with like his early, like his song, like Hell Tutorial has a weird ass music video. This is like a weird ass music video to some degree or whatever. It's just like literally them trying to cut his hair, and like they have like these like stabilized cameras, but like the reference monitor is like some old CRT tube TV or whatever. It's just like it oozes like style, and I understand it immediately just between both Zion.T and Loco in that case. So I really appreciate that aspect of it. Cooper said, "The best word I can use to describe this song is, quote, beautiful in its lyrics. Vocals from Zion.T and soft instrumental. It's a really chill song I'll have on repeat for sure. The MV has some really cool sets and uses of props. It's kind of a standard K indie MV though, so nothing really wowed me."
All right.
Yeah, that's the thing with these sort of ones. No choreography, they kind of just are at a disadvantage because they have to think of other things to make the video interesting. So
Yeah. All right. Up next, we have "Tangled Up," which is featuring PH1 on vocals. So when I first heard like the beginning of the song, I was like not into it. I didn't really like how Loco's delivery was it at in like the first like 30 seconds, but like right around like second 30 when he starts like going into his actual rap, I was like, bam, this is all right, this is what I'm talking about.
Yep.
And yeah, that's when the song definitely picked up for me. Like it started out generic, but then like when he actually like, you know, got in his pace and started rapping, it was like, all right, this is dope. I thought the beat actually works really well in this. Like that's one criticism I have of I guess hip hop is that like rely a little too much on percussion, but I thought the beats along with the like the actual like instrumental, like I think they worked really well together, and like definitely helped to set the vibe. PH1's vocals I thought were really good. Although like again, every song I've heard him in he's always had a really good voice.
He's good. So
he's definitely a good R&B singer. But yeah, this song actually stood out to me a lot. Besides like that begin, like, which is funny because again at the beginning I thought I wouldn't like it, but you know, once I got into the song, it definitely picked up for me.
Yeah, I love the beginning, like instrumentals with like the baby synth, the East Asian like style instrumentals, and like the underwater feeling. I thought it was really good. But I had like the exact same notes as Jacob. I said like the flow for the rapping is fantastic, but I don't like that droning style of delivery he uses. But then once he picks up the flow, it gets better, and it's less distracting. Overall, I think even with the beginning part that I didn't like, as same as Jacob, I think it's better than the auto-tune by a lot, and just the type of style I like. And I really like the echo during the chorus. It really helps with that underwater feeling.
Yeah.
And then I agree. PH1's vocals are really good. I think they add a lot to the song. This was probably one of my favorites.
PH1 stole the song for me, in all honesty. His verse, the second verse, is like like his flow is insane. So just the way he was able to transition seamlessly from singing the hook into that second verse was incredible. Again, I'm more of a trap hip hop fan, so it's the the way like the sort of lazily sort of droning vocal isn't as off-putting to me in that sort of way, but it definitely stands out in comparison to just how good PH1 was in terms of his deliveries. So, but I mean, that's praising PH1, not necessarily a knock against Loco. Yeah, I just love the fun sort of like laid back vibe that the song has, which makes the sort of lazy delivery or chill delivery of the rapping, it definitely fits thematically in that sort of way. But yeah, I love everything about this song, just like all the English lyrics, like "Don't you know I'm loco?" It's like I'm like Z, like sleep and snore. I'm like ZZ. I'm a sucker for all of those like English like puns or whatever, and stuff like that is would make it. Like I could see somebody making like a really awesome choreo to this. In all honesty, like if one day maybe if I'm ever really good at dancing, I could do something like a choreo to this. But yeah, there's a lot of creativity and there's a lot of like visual elements I feel to this, so I did enjoy it a lot. Cooper, on the other hand, says, this song didn't really stand out to me. I kind of just listened to it and forgot the song ended. The baby synth is no good, though. I think it's the lack of change at all in tempo that kind of bored me out. So, Cooper's not a fan. Oh, well. Who cares what Cooper thinks anyway?
Cooper's not into this type of music.
Yeah, he's not into this type of, like, hip-hop, so...
All right, next we have Some Beatmaker featuring Esong and Ooh, or Yesong and Woo, however you pronounce it.
Depending on if they want the English or...
That's I don't know why it's just as Woo, but that's supposed to be Woo On Jay, who he got popular back in 2017.
That's what it said on iTunes and Spotify.
iTunes
I don't know why.
says Woo.
Yeah, I don't know why they shortened it to Woo, but that's 100% sure that's Woo On Jay.
Yeah, so for this song I wasn't super high on, and I think it's mostly because like the beat they use, it's just constant throughout the whole song, and I think it feels a little disjointed from the rap and the vocals. Like I feel like I could literally just strip it back and put a different beat in there and it wouldn't make as much of a difference. Like there was nothing wrong with Loco's rap. I thought he was fine. I think he had good delivery. Although like the people who did the vocals for like the chorus and stuff like that, I didn't really like their singing style. It was not my thing at all. But yeah, like Loco's rapping was good, but like again, I feel like it's disjointed from the beat. I don't know. I just didn't click with me. I guess it doesn't meld well in my opinion. So I think the biggest problem with this for me is it's just not super cohesive for me, I guess. So
yeah, for me, it's funny because I really like the focus on just like the simple bell part for the instrumentals, and I thought it was pretty like I was so focused on it that like I basically didn't pay attention to any of the rap at all. I was just like, this is really like simple but really catchy, and like
it definitely is catchy.
So like I just all my focus was on it for some reason, and that's literally all I have to say. Other than I agree with you with the chorus. The chorus almost has like a reggae style to it, and it wasn't very good in my opinion.
I love the instrumentals. I'm a sucker for like steel drum or like xylophone in
like
freaking
marimba or something.
Yeah, I just love like I don't know. It's always such a funny sound to hear in hip hop music, but it's definitely something that you hear a lot of. But I always enjoy it. But yeah, I'm definitely in unison with you guys where the chorus or the hook is definitely what kills it. Mostly just because of the delivery of it. It's just like the chorus is like some beat make a like I know they're trying to like sort of like do like an echoey effect to it, but the way that I don't know, maybe it's a pronunciation sort of thing with Koreans or whatever, but the way that they are enunciating the words it's too try hard, and it just sounds like you're slurring instead of just like trying to pronounce the words. And again, if you want that echoey effect, there's other ways to achieve it as opposed to just like it's that droning that sort of kind of kills the song or kills the hook for me. I think it would have been fine if they changed up the delivery on that front. The funny thing is though, Cooper really loved this song. Apparently, he's like, "Oh, this
He's
is
so
better than."
unpredictable.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, this is better than Tangled Up. I dig the piano, but there's more baby synth.
No
Why?
way.
Why does he keep complaining about baby synth? What's wrong?"
Some people really hate it.
I mean, again, I'm usually the one that
don't mind
complains
it.
about overused elements, but I'm not.
All right,
sick of
wait.
it
So
yet.
what is baby synth? Is that like kids' toy
That's the-
synth?
Yeah.
Is that
No,
what that
that's
means?
I don't know what that is.
Huh?
Like a kid's like a kid's like synth piano or something like that.
No. It's like the synth where it sounds like a baby talking, but it's a
Yeah.
synth instrument. You hear it all
I
the
see.
time.
Okay.
You're-
That
It's in
makes
the,
sense.
like if
I
you
got
listen
it.
to the
messed
song,
around.
you'll hear it.
You've never messed around with like the settings on like a keyboard.
Well, no, I have. I didn't
You
know
never
what you
heard it
meant by
called that?
baby synth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's where it sounds like a baby talking as a synth
Yeah.
instrument.
Okay.
They use it a lot in like
Who's the one that does it? Doesn't Groovy Room use something like that in their intros?
yeah,
Is that them?
it's kind of like that. Yeah.
I don't mind it.
No, I don't mind.
I don't
either.
hate it either.
Yeah.
Jacob.
Oh yeah, it's Cooper just went. Yeah, okay. Up next we have Too Fast, which features Palo Alto, and I think this one might be my favorite on the album, just because I think it's more like, I guess what I like in hip hop. It's just like back to the basics, like rap with a nice beat, and yeah, like definitely lives up to the name. Like Loco, like again, he does do that sort of like sing rapping style that he does, but in this, like he takes it to another level. He's like really nice fast flow.
Yep.
And I thought was super nice in this, like his pronunciation, and like he wasn't too slurry, but again, like it's like it's weird for me to describe, I guess, again, but it's like, again, like he's not super slurry, and he's still doing like the sting rap style but at a faster pace, and I think it really works well in this song. And Palo Alto, he's a rapper I definitely like on his features and stuff. I don't think I listen much to his solo music, but his features always turn out well. So yeah, I thought this was awesome.
I basically know him from the Wonder Girls feature
Oh
he
yeah,
did on
Candle or whatever.
Candle, yeah.
Yeah,
I love
that's
that
it.
song.
Light a candle. Oh god, that's gonna be stuck in my head for the rest
But
of the day.
for me, yeah, I'm like pretty much exactly aligned with Jacob in terms of like the style of hip hop and stuff I like. So yeah, this is also my favorite song on the album. I like the more just basic older school style hip hop.
Yeah.
Just like you said, a nice beat and just straight rapping. No like weird styles. And yeah, so I loved it. I really like the upbeat piano line to start
definitely.
the song off. That's just the exact style of hip hop I like to listen to. It's weird though. I find it funny though because it seems like Loco has a different style in every single song on this album.
Which is
Yeah,
good.
he's versatile. I like to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is good, but most of the styles I don't actually like. So, but yeah, this one definitely is my favorite.
Like immediately, like I didn't even have to check the like the production notes. I could tell, Woogie produced this song just because he loves. Woogie definitely loves their like the specific use of like not organ, but like the style of synth electric keys that he uses. It's almost signature at this point. So I do enjoy Loco's parts in this album, but I feel like I don't know, I just got nothing out of Palo Alto's feature. It's just super boring to me. And yeah, I guess the song itself definitely feels a lot more safe in comparison to just the rest of the album. So this was probably the only major miss for me on this album, but I mean, it's still, again, I enjoy Local's rapping, so that's probably the only redeeming part of this song. Cooper says, I love the vibe of this song way more upbeat, but still chill. The rap verse is really good, and the guitar in the back is a nice touch. So, yeah, you guys are definitely a lot more in agreement than I am, so.
All right, next song we have How, and I actually really like this song. I thought this turned out really well, especially the instrumental with Loco singing. I think works really well. Like when it first started, I thought like it almost sounded like it would turn into like a soft rock song or something like that, which I thought was really interesting, especially, showing up on like a hip hop album. Yeah, definitely one thing I love to see in hip hop is the use of guitar, because I feel like it's so underutilized. Like,
Yep.
I feel like that's one thing that I like that Epic High like pulls out every once in a while is, again, like use of guitar like in their beats and instrumentals and stuff like that. Same with like piano and whatnot. I feel like just taking it back to like I guess real instruments and like, you know, having an instrument I almost said instrumentist, musician, like, you know, come in and help with, you know, that kind of stuff. I think it gives it a more like raw I guess feeling to it, like if in a song like this where you're trying to like convey like certain amount of emotion, I guess. And with Loco, I keep calling him a local for some reason.
Local.
Yeah. Loco's his actual like vocal delivery I think worked out really well as well. So yeah, I thought this was a really nice song.
So yeah, for me, I liked how the super chill guitar line, like you said, it gives me like stoner rock vibes almost.
Yeah.
Is what it sounds like. That's exactly what it sounds like. I'm not a fan of the nasally like rap style he uses here. Like I said, literally every single song is a different style. And for me, it's just a crapshoot of what I like and what I don't like. But when he's actually doing the singing, I think it's a lot better. And the one thing that stood out, I like the humming in the chorus a lot. That part stood out to me.
Oh yeah.
This is another song that's produced by Woogie, and I think this is the better of the two songs in comparison to Too Fast or Goodbye or whatever it's called. Again, like you were mentioning the guitar part, it's something that Woogie's incorporating again from Loco and Huas's song Don't. It's got that same sort of bluesy vibe. There's the effects pedals and like the sort of the way that they're playing the guitar. It's got that twangy blues feel to it, which fits perfectly for this. Again, Loco, his vocal performance obviously isn't the best when compared to like actual vocalists, but I mean, I always give a bit of leeway when it comes to like rappers doing vocals like this. Yeah, so it's fine. It works perfectly for this song in all honesty, and I think it's an awesome way to end the track. It kind of goes full circle with the utilization of guitar that they used on Nothing, which was the opening track. So it's kind of I'd play it on repeat and they'd flow very well into each other. But again, I just really love him just not being afraid to just do an almost exclusively vocal track. Again, obviously he doesn't have the highest of vocal ranges necessarily, but what he did cover in his vocal range was excellent. Again, just everything about this is why Woogie's a really good producer. Just the way he can create mood with the guitar, the muted nature of the drums, and the way that Loco's able to complement that instrumental perfectly with the way he's singing or the way he's delivering his lines and his vocals. It just made it super memorable. It's something I'm gonna listen to a lot in like my smooth as fuck like nighttime playlist or whatever. It's just a perfect song for that type of mood. Cooper said the perfect no, that's for another group. I was like, wait a second, why does it look familiar? Okay, he says, at this point, every song kind of sounds the same, which isn't a bad thing necessarily, but the whole album kind of blends together in a monotonous sort of way. It's a nice ending track. The vocals are emotional and nostalgic sounding, but I mean, for me, I'd say the only sort of connecting point with the songs is probably just Loco's vocal delivery, but I still feel like again, we got a good variety of just different genres and instrumentals and styles of music that I don't feel it ever got repetitive for me. If anything, I loved his use of, or it's maybe it's a hip hop thing where you're just not afraid, or you always just want to go into different styles or different directions on an album, that sort of way. But again, I love that approach to album making, or just sort of how you present an album, or just how you showcase your versatility in that sort of way. And I feel like he's more than proven his versatility with the different genres he's tackled on this album. So we can get to ratings now. So what do you got, Jacob?
All right, yeah, I'll go first. So for music, I gave it a 5.5 out of 7. I thought everything was like I at least enjoyed every song, but like a few of them I had a few things that I didn't like on some beat maker. Like I think that's definitely the weakest track on the album for me. I think the chorus really kills it, and again, like I just felt like there was like a disjoint between the beat and Loco's rapping throughout the verses. So I wasn't too high on that. And then in like Nothing, for example, I wasn't super into the auto-tuned voice like singing, I guess, but like again, it's grown on me on other listens, so I guess that score could go up later on, but like at this point I'm still not totally sold on it, but I'm okay with it. Like it doesn't ruin the song for me. So I only deducted like 1.5 points because I felt like every other song was like at least really like well done. And for concept, I gave it a 1.5 out of 3 just because I felt like there was nothing that really like the MV was like the most standard thing I've ever seen, to be honest. Like yeah, they had the motif of like I guess like shaving his hair because he's going into the military and stuff like that, but nothing really stood out to me like in particular. Like yeah, because like with someone who doesn't have like choreography or anything like that, like it's hard to, I guess, judge the concept, especially if it's not like a concept album or anything like that. So yeah, I gave it a 1.5 out of 3 for concepts. Overall, I think it's a strong 7 out of 10.
Yep. For me, I gave it a 5 for music. There was a lot of stuff I liked. But there's definitely things on this album that are just not the type of music I really enjoy. So I knocked it a couple of points, but overall I think I do like this album. But yeah, there's just some things I couldn't deal with. As for concept, I think I was a little gave this a little leeway since there isn't like choreography or really like even styling or anything to count. So I gave it a 2 out of 3 for the music video. I liked the minimalistic like artistic style of it. And so I mean that's really all we have to grade on. Also the cover art, which I thought was good. I think it'll fit the MV. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I give it a 7 overall.
Yeah, same score actually. Most of the weight went into the single just because I love It's Been a While. Just again, a perfect collaboration, something that I'll go back to constantly. I did enjoy the album tracks for the most part, but there were some hiccups in some songs. But something like Nothing or How are just songs that I will definitely return to a lot. And I know Loco's usually not like our typical beat, so to speak, or something we normally cover, but I did want to cover him, or I went out of my way to sort of put this aside in the schedule, just because one, he did amazing last year with the song he did with Wassa, Don't, was just like it was on the charts for like months on end, like it just kept all killing basically. So I definitely, over the past year, I've definitely grown to respect him a lot more as a rapper. Again, that versatility that he showcases in this album musically is just awesome. Again, just the way he's able to go from like certain like hip hop sounds and just move into R&B or just like chill jazz music. Again, just showcases his talent as an artist, and I wish him all the best whenever he ends up joining the military. And that kind of sucks because I feel like he just had like a super breakout song with Wassa or whatever, and now he just has to go to the military. And so yeah, it sucks. I mean, yeah, it's something.
AOMG?
Yeah, AOMG's gonna like Jay Park's gonna have a really tough time replacing him. In all honesty, he's got to find someone really good to just sort of fill the void that Loco is gonna leave behind. Because I feel like he's definitely some of the best talent that they have out of AOMG in terms of rappers, alongside people like Zion.T or whatever. In terms of concept, I gave it 1.5 out of 3. Again, it's nothing necessarily blew me away. I do love the sort of fantastical element or just weirdness that a lot of just Zion.T involved music videos have. But again, it's nothing that necessarily just blows me away visually or just conceptually. So 7 out of 10 was, I think, a really solid score, and it's exactly what I thought of this album. And again, on my scale, that's a really good thing. So Cooper gave his overall thoughts were, "This is the first time I've listened to Loco. It's a solid first impression, but I'm not sure how much he stands out to the other K-indie stuff I've heard. There's some standout tracks here. It's been a while, and Too Fast are my favorite. The MV is good, but it's also pretty standard. Overall, I'm interested enough to see what else he puts out when he returns from the military." And he gave a 4.5 out of 7 for the music, a 2 out of 3 for concept, so he's at a 6.5. So
Jacob, you have 7.5, right?
I is 7.
yeah, so it's 7,
Or
7,
you gave
7, 6.5. So that'll
It'll
just
be
round.
7
So-
overall.
You'll just round
That'll
to
be,
7.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean that's probably a good spot for where I want to put it.
Yeah.
Again, check out Loco's music if you haven't already. It's definitely I know a lot of people are sort of hesitant to lean into the hip hop side of Korean music,
Yeah.
but I feel like this is a good sort of balance between it. One, because the title track is with Zion.T, and so you can sort of garner R&B pop elements from it. It's not just pure hip hop. So I think it's definitely, if you haven't listened to Loco before or just not as familiar with him, this is definitely probably the most accessible of his albums that I've listened to, or just the most accessible of his music that I've listened to, and just the producers that he's cooperated with or just involved in this project definitely sort of lean to that more accessible type of sound thing involving a lot more singing. So yeah, I really did enjoy this, and I hope that sort of like us sort of venturing out into this category could lead us to maybe finding new people. If there are other artists or other hip hop artists you'd like for us to cover, definitely let us know, because I don't want to neglect that side of Korean music. Definitely, I know we mostly focus on just straight up K-pop stuff here, but I do want to cover that, or I do want to give that some love, because that's obviously a really big part of the Korean music industry. So.
Yeah.
We'll be reviewing an Epic High album later on this
Yeah,
year.
Oh my God, I'm so
Epic
happy.
High. I mean,
I'm
there's
so
other.
excited to give it a 10. I really hope it's a 10.
Don't ski the results already, but that'll do it, right? That's the last review for the week.
For episode 108.
Yep.
All
right.
Like usual, join Discord. It's Mucho lit.
Mucho lit.
The future stuff, we're going to see Red Velvet.
We're gonna see Red Velvet
This weekend.
for a couple days after this part goes up. So if you're in the New York, New Jersey area and are going to see Red Velvet at the New Jersey Performing Arts Center in Newark, we will be there. Say hi, or don't say hi, or I don't know. The only people we know are going are like people in Discord. So
Yep.
we're gonna go check that out.
If you want to get to know us, just
Join
get
Discord.
on Discord.
Yeah, that's the easiest
we all
way
pretty
to
much
contact
get
us.
to know each other. So yeah.
Also, we are just, again, it's not necessarily K-pop related, but we were just like, okay, you got Jacob and Nate are going to be in town, so we're like, okay, screw it, we'll just have like a community game night sort of thing. We're going to stream a bit of Apex Legends, like I mentioned in the beginning of this show. We're going to hopefully get a win. Hopefully, just if we can get a win on stream, that'd be awesome.
Chicken dinner.
No,
don't
they
know
don't
what
say.
it says.
They don't say. They just said
It
you're
just
the
says,
champion.
You won.
You're the
Yeah,
Apex
you're
champion.
champion.
You're the Apex champion.
Championship.
Yeah. So if you're interested in that, again, just check out our Twitter or join our Discord for details. Yeah, that's another thing that I do want to incorporate more, just more community or just like get together sort of things with the Truly Daebak community. Just screw around with you guys, have fun or whatever. So please look forward to that. It's definitely something we'll plan to do on a regular basis, hopefully. So that's all I got for upcoming events.
All right. So with that, thanks for listening. Tune in next week. Subscribe. Most important thing I'd say is join Discord, just because
Join Discord.
add to our growing community.
Yeah.
Comment. So, yeah. Thanks for listening. Thank you. And good night.
Stay loco.
Stay throbbingly
loco.
Which is funny because that's also a Spanish word.
Stay crazy.
Stay throbbingly crazy.
It works. It's not just P Nation to them. It's Psy is starting a music company. Like that's
exactly.
Just like getting your foot in the door like that. Just with Psy's name again. It's just It's a recipe for success, at least in my eyes.
Yeah, this honestly has the potential to be